All these kids talk about getting bullied nowadays. Psh, be glad you weren't alive in the 80s.
It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Slaughter High Movie Review.
Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy. And last night I was scrolling through the Netflix, and then I was scrolling through the Prime, and I was like, there ain't shit to watch, man. I mean, sure, there's a bunch of stuff I need to watch, but there wasn't nothing I wanted to watch. So I downloaded Tubi. I don't know if y'all have heard of this app. It's a free app, and it has free movies. And I thought there would be ads, but I was willing to give it a chance anyway. Well, there wasn't any ads, but the movie I watched was in full screen, and it almost looked like VHS quality, which at first was like, but I got used to it. I got over it, I got used to it, and I watched the movie, and that was 1986's Slaughter High. And it's strange what a young man recollects, because I remember being a little baby fella, and I'd stop at the video store every day, and I would hold this VHS in my hand and stare at it. But somehow I never rented it. I don't know. Maybe even back then I was one of those people that just rented Friday the 13th or A Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. But no, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to watch this movie. Let's watch it. And damned if I shouldn't have watched it all the way back then, because this is a classic. I mean, not to spoil anything, but this is definitely a hidden gem of a movie. Now, it started off kind of bad. I was like, oh my god. It was like almost Trauma, but like Trauma has a certain charm to it. But this felt like the beginning of the Toxic Avenger, because you got the kid getting bullied, and then stuff happens. But yeah, you open up, you got Carol and Marty, and they're gonna go do it. They are gonna get it on. So she takes him into the girls' locker room, and she has him stripped down to his unmentionables. Well, actually, strips down to nothing. Stripped down to nothing. I mean, you get full frontal male nudity up in this shit. How often do you get to say that about your 80s slasher? They wasn't afraid to go all the way. But anyway. So they get him naked, and then there's a bunch of people outside. I guess they got cameras and lights, and some guys poking him with a stick. But it goes even further than that. They pick him up. They take him in, and they give him a swirly. And yeah, this stuff probably happened. I mean, if it happened in every other 80s movie, what's to say that this kind of shit didn't happen in real life? But you didn't hear everybody like, oh, you stop bullying my kid. I mean, they got over it. You'll see what happens. But anyway, well, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. So Marty, he's like a little science geek, and he plays with chemicals and does experiments and such. And one of the kids break in there, and they sabotage his experiments. And then, yeah, it goes too far, and he gets fucked up. Okay, and I'm like, oh shit. And then the funny thing is, the whole thing, I'm gonna stop. We're gonna collaborate, and we're gonna listen to what I was gonna say. Is the fact that when it first started, I was like, why the fuck do they have like 40-year-olds playing these fucking teenagers? Because that always bothers me when they get people that are obviously way too old to be in high school. But it was for a reason, because then we flash forward like 10, 15 years or however long, and they're all adults, living their lives as adults, and they get an invitation to the high school reunion that happens to be on April 1st. So they all go back to the high school. When they get there, they realize it's just them. And there's something funny going on. And then, they start disappearing and dying. Just like, a slasher movie should. And that's the thing. some of the acting in this movie is pretty terrible, but sometimes it's not. It's weird. Like, all of the actors have their moments of being really good and then being really bad. It's very weird. I don't understand. It's like almost as if there were 3 people directing this movie. Holy shit, there were 3 people directing this movie. I can't remember their names, but there were 3 people directing this movie. Now, this movie does have some of the coolest and most innovative kills I've seen in a slasher movie. It was like, where in the hell have I been? And like, you know, at first when, you know, Marty first has his accident, my first initial reaction was, oh man, they couldn't get Tom Savini. But as we progress, it gets pretty damn good. And the killer, while goofy, to say the least, can still be frightening and scary. Even though you know it's just some dork under there. But a lot of the shots and the way they were set up, you know, were really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, you know, once we get, I don't want to spoil anything, even though obviously you know who the killer is. But then again, do you? Do you really? Who knows? But what I can tell you is, there's a part of this movie at the end that just made me go, you son of a bitchin' motherfucker. But I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie. And I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I also recommend downloading the Tubi app if you haven't downloaded that. That way you can go watch this for free, and then maybe it'll inspire you to go out and get the fancy special edition Blu-ray, because I'm sure it's out there somewhere, and goddamn it, I want it. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna put a letter, but this is a bona fide 80s classic. And it's been bona fide, certified, and legitimatized by Drewski McGillicuddy. So go get that shit. And let me know what you think. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So it's bona fide. Oh my God! See, I got this terrible problem where I forget to talk about stuff. There's this insane, amazing bathtub scene in this movie. One of the best bathtub kills ever put to screen. But it only leaves the question is, what fucking high school has a fucking bathtub? Okay, I'll leave you with that. Anyway, make sure if you've liked the video, you like the video, and share it, and make sure you subscribe. And you know, if you're gonna leave a comment, leave a comment. Maybe I'll respond to it. Maybe I'll just like it, love it, want some more of it. Jesus Christ.